They thought it was in the bag. One razor-thin seat? No big deal. But they underestimated one thing. The peer movement isn't going away. It's growing. It's watching. And now, it's winning. After weeks of stonewalling, media gaslighting, and liberal spin doctors declaring it over, the truth erupted in court. The recount results are in, and Pierre has taken the seat by just 4 votes. Yes, 4. That's all it took to shake the foundation of Mark Carney's already fragile minority government. 1 judge, 1 riding, 1 recount, and everything has changed. Now, liberals are panicking because this isn't just a number, it's a symbol, a sign that their machine is cracking, that every seat matters, and that Canadians are done being ignored. If you've made it this far, you're clearly someone who cares about real accountability. If you're tired of legacy media spin and want sharp, no nonsense takes on the issues that actually matter, subscribe. Join the movement that's cutting through the noise. Let's hold leaders accountable, spark real conversations, and amplify our voice. And just watch. Be part of the shift. The seat that sparked a storm. Let's break down what happened. In a tight Ontario riding, Liberals thought they'd narrowly escaped defeat. The media rushed to declare victory. Carney stood smug at the podium, acting like his paper-thin minority with some grand mandate, but something didn't add up. Conservative scrutineers flagged ballot batches that didn't match, mail-in votes miscounted, tabulation discrepancies. They demanded a judicial recount, and when the dust settled, Pierre won the seat by 4 votes. Just 4 Canadian citizens changed the course of Canadian political history. That is democracy in motion, and it terrifies the liberal elite. Liberals in free fall. This single recount throws Carney's entire government into chaos. His majority gone. His authority shaken. His mandate paper thin and now visibly cracking. And here's the bigger story. If 1 seat can flip after a recount, how many more are vulnerable? How many other ridings were papered over, waved off, or swept under the rug? Stay tuned, because this isn't just about 1 recount. It's about a nation waking up right now. Every vote in Parliament is a gamble. Every committee decision, every policy proposal, even confidence votes are hanging by a thread. Why? Because behind the scenes, even liberal insiders are nervous. Leaks are starting to flow, and backbenchers are privately worried. What happens if more recounts flip results? What if they no longer have the numbers to govern? This isn't speculation anymore. It's happening. If just 1 recount shifted a seat to Pierre Poilievre, how many more could be at risk? How many narrow wins are just a few envelopes away from changing hands? How many results are still waiting to be challenged? And it's not just the Conservatives who are paying attention. The Bloc is watching closely. The NDP is frustrated. And Conservative candidates? They're energized like never before. Mark Carney may have hoped for a smooth transition into leadership, but what he's facing now is far from that. This isn't a coronation. It's a constitutional crisis. And we're only at the beginning across Canada, especially in ridings where the Liberals claimed victory by slim margins. Pressure is building. From Windsor-Tecumseh to Terrebonne, from northern Ontario to suburban Quebec, people are speaking up. Voters are asking, I didn't vote Liberal, so how did they win this seat? And most importantly, where was the oversight? Now the message is loud and clear. Recount every vote, every ballot, every riding. Because if 4 votes can flip a seat, then every close race deserves a second look. And if enough of those change, the legitimacy of Carney's minority government could collapse entirely. Let's talk about the process itself. This wasn't a partisan review. This recount was judicial, independent, and fully legal. The judge overseeing the process was appointed during a Liberal administration and had no reason to favor the Poilievre Conservatives. But the facts were undeniable. Mistakes were found. Ballots were misrecorded. Envelopes were misclassified. And in the end, the seat flipped, not because of bias or opinion, but because the evidence demanded it. The liberals can't spin this one away. Not when the truth is this clear and the people are finally paying attention. And the moment that recount result became public, everything changed. Because if the liberals can lose this seat, they can lose any seat. Within minutes, Canada's mainstream media went into damage control. CBC tried to soften the story. CTV quietly pushed it beneath lighter headlines. Liberal-aligned pundits scrambled to dismiss the result as statistical noise. But this wasn't noise, this was a wake-up call. A clear message that the public heard loud and clear. Just days earlier, many of these same media outlets were hailing Mark Carney as the centrist savior. Now they're struggling to hold a collapsing narrative together. Instead of asking real questions about the recount, electoral integrity, or mail-in vote irregularities, they're avoiding the topic altogether. But the tide has turned, and this time, they can't spin it away. People are beginning to ask, why did the media ignore early warning signs? Why didn't they cover whistleblower claims about Elections Canada? Why have they been so quick to shield liberal missteps from public scrutiny? This isn't about party politics anymore. It's about accountability. It's about the truth. And truth doesn't bow to headlines or scripted segments. Meanwhile, Pierre Poilievre is stepping into the spotlight not with celebration, but with purpose. While Carney sticks to prepared statements and avoids hard questions, Pierre is doing something very different. He's visiting town halls, engaging directly with voters, and building real momentum by listening. He's not claiming victory. He's building a movement, one that values transparency, fairness, and every single vote. While the Liberal Party retreats into damage control and internal panic, Pierre is gaining ground because he's doing what Carney hasn't, earning trust. And that's what this moment is really about. Not just one flip seat, not just one recount, but a turning point, a national call for honest leadership, real accountability, and a government that actually listens. Behind the carefully polished image of Mark Carney, things are falling apart. Liberal MPs in tightly contested ridings are angry, and they're demanding answers. Why wasn't the vote count airtight? How were conservative challenges able to uncover errors the party dismissed? Some MPs are now publicly distancing themselves from Carney's leadership. Others are even considering breaking ranks, worried about what the next recount could reveal. There's growing talk inside the Liberal caucus, a quiet but serious concern that Carney might not last the year. With Pierre Poilievre gaining momentum, and the Governor-General facing pressure to act if Parliament's legitimacy is shaken further, cracks are getting harder to ignore. This is how political unraveling begins, not with loud headlines, but with quiet departures, one at a time. And the recount didn't just flip a seat, it exposed something deeper.